wonderful. But there's definitely a loss that she doesn't have a mom. I think the film is really real. I mean, it has satire, but I think just because it's glamorous and just because it's a little extreme. But really, the issues are all very true to high school, and I think that I think adults will get this movie even more than kids will, because it's so intelligent and it's very subtle, and I mean, it's very over the top and it's very subtle because everybody can remember when they were in high school, I'm sure, and how they would go through these things. And it's just, if I was a mom or a dad, I'd be fascinated with how they're doing it now.
Silverstone embraced the opportunity to work with veteran director Amy Heckerling, who translated the Jane Austen novel Emma into the present day.
It's just bringing back the way, I mean, 400 years ago, they used to actually speak with, taste. Like they took pride in their words. The words were thought before you said them. And now, I mean, I know I have such a lazy tongue, you just say whatever, and you're not very descriptive. And in Clueless, they say things like, surfing the crimson wave. It may be slang, but it's really descriptive. I mean, and it makes it more fun. And the clothes, yeah, I mean, clothes are crazy.
The clothes were an added attraction for audiences, but for laid-back Alicia, they posed a certain problem.
I'm not into fashion at all. I'm useless, but for Cher, it's the most important thing in the world to her. In the movie, in Clueless, it's absolutely the top of, comes before your family. It's like big. I was trying clothes on left and right. That's the part that made me miserable on set, because I'm not into clothes, and I really had to pretend like I loved clothes. I love clothes. And when, I mean, in between takes, I was exhausted, and I'd be, the promoter's like, here, try this on. I don't want to try it on. But it was like constant clothing, wardrobe.
Silverstone also learned the importance of material to shaping a career.
I don't know if I could ever find a script as funny as this. I really think this is hysterical, so I don't know that, I mean, I love Goldie Hawn. I really love Goldie Hawn, and there's so many, she found so many great comedies to do, and I don't know if there's going to be those as many as there have been. I don't know if they can follow that act. But Clueless, I think, is hysterical, and I just want to do good roles, so I don't really know. It doesn't really matter if it's comedy or if it's drama, just good characters.
The movie's success led to more than just acting. Columbia Pictures gave Silverstone a multi-million-dollar deal that included backing for her own production company. At the age of 19, Silverstone was suddenly a producer.
That's very exciting. It'd be nice to have a place to go and do my work, because right now I have the office in my bedroom. It's kind of difficult. So this is them. Just look at the carpet. Can you see the carpet? For the most part, I just want to be able to do projects that I really believe in, and things that, I mean, when I first started, I'm very happy with everything I've done for that particular time, but I really never had much of a choice in the beginning. It's like you take anything. And now to make it really it's fascinating how much of a conscious effort you make with every project. How will this affect people? What is this really trying to say? What does this mean? And even if the whole project's good, then what does this character mean? What does this character stand for? It's really important to me that I do things that are in some way beneficial. This is a conference room. This is a hideous couch. It's going to be reupholstered. These are ideas. I'd like to maybe do some, public announcement spots through the production company about animal rights. I'd like to reach younger people, too, because I think that I have a relationship there. Hopefully I'll be able to create a relationship with the adults, too.
Even though her career had suddenly hit the fast track, Silverstone managed to keep her newfound status in perspective.
I mean, I'm not sure that I have the answers or that I know what I'm doing, but I know that it's really exciting to try. And it's really, it feels a lot better to be able to be involved with the entire project. And I could have really ridiculous ideas, and maybe the whole thing is a big mess, but it feels right. So if it feels right, I'm pretty good with my instincts, so hopefully it'll work.
When we come back here on UnCut, Alicia Silverstone decides to trust her gut and produce her first movie. Does this young producer deliver? Well, we'll find out when UnCut returns.
On every single film, there are always bumps. It just has to be that way. With producing, I'm finding how frustrating it is. Like, as an actor, I always would get scripts, when you get offers, and, you wait a week or week and a half to read it, and now I'm seeing how infuriating it is, and now I'm reading my scripts immediately.
We're back on Alicia Silverstone Uncut. Hi, everybody. I'm Todd Newton. Now, you know, 1997 was all set to be a huge year for Alicia Silverstone. I mean, in addition to her acting career, her production company, First Kiss Productions, was set to release its first major motion picture, Excess Baggage. Now, in addition to starring in the movie, Alicia Silverstone was also the producer. And with this film came the opportunity to give Alicia a brand new experience in filmmaking.
I'm having to change my work style a lot because I'm very, you know, I'm open, but I have a clear path, and I just sort of like go off when I need to, but basically stay on this road. And when you're an actor, you work on by yourself until you hit the set. So all the preparations solo. Now it's like a big collaborative effort, and a lot of waiting, and a lot of making things work.
Though the process created new challenges, the product allowed Silverstone to fully express herself for the first time.
Excess Baggage is about a young girl who is trying to do what every single young person in the entire world is trying to do, find love and find an identity. She's doing all the wrong things. She kidnaps herself and causes this huge ruckus. You know, one final attempt to get her father's attention and to get him to, emote something. And she learns throughout the course of the film that, it ain't gonna work. There's no way you can ever change anyone. You can't do anything to control how people feel about you. And you're not gonna find the approval and the love that you need from anyone but yourself.
As much as Silverstone enjoyed the richness of her character, her role as producer was equally fulfilling.
I learned about things I never thought would even interest me for a second. I was, involved with every single thing. So even, the editing was wonderful. The most exciting part of it all, there's definitely Benicio and our work together was so wonderful because we were very lucky. The studio supported us and let us rewrite the whole script, and we rewrote all these scenes and improv scenes, and it was just great. And then one thing that I never thought I would have enjoyed was the music. Putting the score into the film, and the levels of the sound and the effects, and picking the songs. Dave Matthews Band, Red House Painters, the Wallflowers, all personal choices, and all just, the music is so powerful and it's so fun.
Producing Excess Baggage prompted its share of problems, but Silverstone took pride in taking them in stride.
On every single film, there are always bumps. It just has to be that way. You can't make a movie. And I wonder, supposing you did a movie, it would be extraordinarily boring, but if everything went just like okay, on schedule perfectly, first of all, how boring that would be, and second of all, what the result would be. Because the interesting thing to me was, starting with my vision, and then finding all these people that color that vision and bring to that vision, and all of us working together, and then the result. So the process is so much the exciting part that without those bumps and those hurdles to go over, I don't know what you'd have. And I'm just so thrilled that it's a wonderful, wonderful product, because I like this movie a lot.
Now, unfortunately, audiences didn't necessarily agree with her about Excess Baggage, and the critics bagged on it excessively. When we come back, we're going to find out how she bounced back here on Alicia Silverstone Uncut.
What's beautiful about a person is their insides, and it is so clear.
Welcome back to Alicia Silverstone Uncut. I'm Todd Newton here at Edelweiss Candy Store in Beverly Hills, and if you could smell those chocolate-covered graham crackers. Oh. Well, in 1997, Alicia Silverstone's meteoric rise fell flat after the commercial and critical failure of Excess Baggage. I mean, it had been 2 years since Clueless, and the tabloids and gossip press were wondering what happened to this golden girl. All these rumors about weight problems were flying around, and they were further distorted by false reports of weight loss schemes. Believe me, it wasn't a good time to be Alicia Silverstone. But she was less concerned with what her fans might have thought of her than what they might have thought of themselves.
I think it's just hideously ridiculous, or ridiculously hideous. It's so silly, and that's how I deal with it. only thing that I'm concerned about is that young people don't think that you have to, that young people, the people that are finding me easy to relate to in any way, I hope that they know that I didn't make any adjustment for what whatever this thing was that people were saying. Doesn't mean anything. It's so unimportant. And anybody that felt that way, those people are really miserable people, and they don't have much going on for themselves. If you know, and that's just the way the world is, and that's really a shame. But unfortunately, so many girls are anorexic and bulimic and really screwed up because of this. And it's really important that young girls have other girls to look up to that are like not going to tell you that you have to be really, really pretty to be cool. What's beautiful about a person is their inside.
1997 wasn't all gloom and doom for Silverstone, however. She did manage to capture the role of Batgirl in Batman and Robin, the 4th installment of the Caped Crusader series.
I didn't choose to be Alfred's niece, but I think that's a great place to be because Michael Gough is the coolest man. I loved him, you know, so much. And my grandfather is really, really close to me and like really precious to me. And so being with him, just I always sort of felt like I was with my grandpa, not because of anything, just because he's just so, I just adored him. He was so kind and so soft.
Though by now she had plenty of experience in front of the camera, Alicia had never seen anything quite like the set of a Batman movie.
Any kind of job would be intimidating. You know, if you first day, I mean, I was terrified the first day at work when I was at a bakery when I was 13, and I was more terrified then than probably walking onto set. But yeah, it's just kind of like, wow, there's so many people. You know, there's so many people. That's what's intimidating. It's just like, you know, there's nothing private about it. It's like the hugest thing. It's crazy.
For Silverstone, the costume was more than half the battle.
Preparing myself for the suffering, you know, preparing myself like every morning saying, oh my God, you've got to get up and put that suit on today. It's all like mental preparation, mental soothing, you know. Okay, it's going to be all right. Only 12 hours today, whatever. But there's not much you can do. You can't really move much.
Fellow cast members George Clooney and Chris O'Donnell helped ease the pain.
They made fun and had a great time. And I kind of like am young in the way that I don't know how to let loose sometimes. Sometimes I really know how to let loose, and other times it's like, it's hard to, you know, unless you feel 100% safe, like it's hard to goof around. So these guys were great in making me laugh. I mean, I was always laughing.
But nobody was laughing when the movie dropped a bat bomb at the box office. Silverstone waited 2 years before her next major role, playing the part of Eve in 1999's A Blast from the Past.
This particular girl, I think she's just, her insecurity is, like her major problem is that she just does not want to be connected or committed to anything because she's afraid of being hurt. So she just puts herself in situations where she has some sort of power, you know, where she can remove herself, such as the men she chooses.
While Blast from the Past told a love story, the atmosphere on the set remained strictly professional.
There was no buddy-buddy, like, let's pretend like we're all friends, because, you know, that false camaraderie really gets me, really bugs me, because why waste our time, you know? You're there, and everybody knows you all have your own lives, and you all come together to work, and it's pleasant, and it's nice. There's no need to, like, start being best friends with people that you know you're never going to be best friends with at the end of the day.
For Silverstone, the challenge in Blast from the Past came out of the movie's message.
I think it's trying to tell all those young boys to stop thinking that if they sleep with a lot of girls and they act cool, that means they're cool. Because that's not what makes a guy sexy or cool. I think that what makes somebody really sexy and beautiful and, like, cool is to be very honest with themselves and be confident about who they are and to work really hard to be aware of their growth and constantly trying to grow and be kind.
Now, I want you to stick around for some frank talk about guys and dogs and what, if anything, is the difference. That's coming up next on Alicia Silverstone Uncut.
Having somebody there next to you or like your dog next to you or that person or that animal that you relate to, that's what makes me feel really, really great.
Oh, it smells so good. Welcome back to Alicia Silverstone Uncut. Hi, everybody. I'm Todd Newton. Well, we're all very familiar with Alicia Silverstone's work on camera, but few know much about her life off camera. And the socialite without a conscience that she portrayed in Clueless couldn't be farther from her attitude in real life, especially when it comes to animal rights.
I'm very, very involved with animals, and my whole life I've thought I wanted to be involved in how can I do more. When I was a baby, I used to say, when I grow up, I'm going to save all the animals in the world, and I didn't realize how impossible that was. But now I realize that, you know, I can hopefully, you know, I would love to go into classrooms and talk to kids about it and talk to them about their rights and talk to them about how, you know, it's for their own good. I just know that people who love animals, there's such a difference in those people than people that are afraid. It's just a whole nother thing. And, you know, who wants to go to someone's house that, like, you know, doesn't want you to spill on the couch and doesn't want any hair on the couch? That kind of thing is just so weird.
In 1997, Humane for Hollywood honored Silverstone for her consistent efforts.
It makes me know that, you know, I can be effective in something, I hope, a little bit, that I really, really believe in. And, you know, I don't really think about the fact that I'm getting an award, because I think it's really silly that we have to get awards for being genuine about how we feel.
You know, I believe that, you know, like dissection is just the most ludicrous thing. And also, you know, that if people could just go to the pound rather than going to breeders and pet stores, they'd be a lot better off. For their own, for even the human sake. My dogs are all rescued, and they're the best, and they have so much personality, and they're so loyal, and they're just so cool.
With her pets to keep her company, Silverstone has managed to steer clear of the typical trappings of young Hollywood.
I stick to myself a lot. I love my dog so much. I like cooking, and I like sleeping. I like working hard. I don't really hang out. I don't really do that sort of, I don't go to clubs or anything like that, and I'm not really fooled by guys anymore.
Silverstone also wasn't fooled by the adulation heaped upon her in recent years.
Honestly, I'm really, really not looking for the world to love me, but the people that I love to love me. So it's like, you know, sure, it's nice that people can feel that way, and I'm very appreciative, but that's not what life's about. It's really, I wouldn't want any young people to, like, look for in their dreams for all this admiration, because it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't put you to sleep at night. Knowing that everybody in the theater was screaming about me doesn't make me go like, I can sleep tonight. You know, it's like, but having somebody there next to you, or like your dog next to you, or that person or that animal that you relate to, that's what makes me feel really, really great. So it's like it's really hard to know what it really means. I mean, I'm shy about it. It's embarrassing. It feels funny, and it's crazy, but it also, you know, it's like not real, because I don't know all these people, and they really don't know me.
Silverstone's rapid rise and the uneven road she's encountered since have taught her to take things at her own pace.
You need to just stop, slow down, and walk, because if you walk, you'll take in a lot of information, and you can grow, and life can be so beautiful when it's done simply, you know? The most beautiful things in life are very simple.
Well, we're slowing down ourselves. As a matter of fact, we're grinding to a halt. We're out of time for this edition of Alicia Silverstone Uncut. I want to thank everybody here at Edelweiss Candy Store in Beverly Hills, California. Most of all, we want to thank you for watching. And it wouldn't be right to be standing in the middle of all this chocolate and butter-flavored popcorn with nuts without telling you to be sweet to one another. And as Alicia would say, be sweet to animals, too. Todd Newton, see you next time.
Mirrors have always really bothered me. You know, they're just like, you know, you go along. I feel really, really beautiful about who I am. So I can be walking around and talking and doing my little thing and feel just fantastic. And then I go, ah! Because I see myself in the mirror, and I'm like, that's not what I thought I looked like. Not that I ever knew what I did, but you just go around feeling good. And then that just changed. It's just so annoying. Image really bothers me. So, I mean, I feel really good about who I am. That's what makes me feel pretty and beautiful and stuff. But it never really occurs to me. I don't sit there and go, I can't. It's too creepy.
You're not saying like that story. That's creepy?
I think I feel nasty. I feel nasty. Oh, so nasty.
What's the biggest misconception people have about you?
I have no idea. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about what other people think of me, so.